chapter 26, Wills and Inheritance. Bequest is prescribed for you when death approaches one of you, if he leaves behind wealth for parents and near relatives according to usage, a duty incumbent noon the righteous. Surah 2, 880. O you who believe, call the witness between you when death draws nigh to one of you at the time of making the will. Two just persons from among you are two others from among others than you. Surah 5, 806. Allah enjoins you concerning your children. The male shall have the equal of the portion of two females. If there are more than two females, they shall have 2/3 of what he has left. And if there be one, he shall have the half. And as for his parents, each of them shall have the 1/6 of what he has left if he has a child. But if he has no child and only his two parents inherit from him, then his mother shall have the 1/3. But if he has brothers, his mother shall have the 1/6 after the payment of any bequest he may have bequeathed or a debt. And you shall have half of what your wives leave if they have no child. But if they have a child, you shall have the 1/4 of what they leave after payment of any bequest they may have bequeathed or a debt. And they shall have the 1/4 of what you leave if you have no child. But if you have a child, they shall have the 1/8 of what you leave after a payment of any bequest you may have bequeathed or a debt. And if a man or a woman having no children leaves inheritance, and he or she has a brother or sister, each of them two shall have the 1/6. But if they are more than that, they shall be sharers in the 1/3 after payment of any bequest that may have been bequeathed or a debt that does not harm others. Now, this beginning of Surah 4 and some other parts, there's a beauty in the Arabic that you just completely miss in the other. Now, the beauty of the concepts, but I mean, in the style of what's being said, and people are like, the Arabic word for poetry where you're adding extra things just to be flowery and rhyme, and that doesn't really do anything to the meaning. You don't find that with the Quran. Say what you will about it. That's just not something there. So people are like, well, why isn't it poetic or something? And it's like, that's not the point. Every man who owns property is required to make a will, wasiyah, which should be properly witnessed. The will was ordained especially for charitable purposes and limited to 1/3 of the party, the heirs receiving specified portions. No will being allowed in thy favor. Giving away property to needy relatives is a charitable object. If there is a debt from the testator for which his property is responsible, the debt shall be paid before the execution of the will. Muslimin were not allowed to inherit from non-Muslims and vice versa, the two being then at war with each other. Prophets leave no inheritance. If anything remains after giving away the appointed portions, it goes to the nearest male relative, and citing certain cases of inheritance as decided by the companions of the Holy Prophet, where there are no near relatives, inheritance goes to the nearest great grand ancestors, descendants, even to a freed slave. In the last resort, when no claimant is found, it goes to the Muslim state or the Muslim community. A child born crying is considered a person who can inherit or be inherited, though he may die immediately afterwards. A man who murders another cannot inherit from him. An illegitimate child cannot inherit or be inherited. Ibn Umar reported the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "It is not right for a Muslim who has property regarding which he must make a will that he should sleep for 2 nights consecutively, but that his will should be written down with him." Sa'id ibn Abi Waqqas said, "The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, used to visit me at Mecca in the year of the farewell pilgrimage on account of my illness, which had become very severe. So I said, my illness has become very severe, and I have much property, and there is none to inherit from me but a daughter. Shall I then bequeath 2/3 of my property as a charity?" He said, "No." I said, "Half." He said, "No." Then he said, "Bequeath 1/3, and 1/3 is much. For if thou leavest thy heirs free from want, it is better than that thou leavest them in want, begging of other people. Then thou dost not spend anything seeking thereby the pleasure of Allah, but thou art rewarded for it, even for that which thou puttest into the mouth of thy wife. Abu Umama said, I heard the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say in his sermon in the farewell pilgrimage, surely Allah has given to everyone entitled to anything his due, therefore there shall be no bequest for one who inherits. Anas reported, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said to Abu Talha, give it to the needy from among thy near relatives. So he gave it to Hassan and Ubayy ibn Ka'ab, and they were nearer to him than myself. It is mentioned that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, ordered the debt to be paid before the execution of the will. Usama reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, the Muslim does not inherit from the unbeliever, nor does the unbeliever inherit from the Muslim. There's not a right there for. Now, if it happens, it happens. Aisha reported, when the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, died, the wives of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, intended sending Uthman to Abu Bakr, demanding their share of the inheritance. Aisha said, did not the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, we are not inherited, whatever we leave is a charity. Aisha, of course, is the daughter of Abu Bakr, so there's that side to it, because there is the difference of opinion among the narrations and the interpreters whether or not the prophets were allowed to have property inherited. Ibn Abbas reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, give the appointed portions to those entitled to them, then whatever remains is for the nearest male. Sayyid said, when a man or a woman leaves behind a daughter, she gets 1/2. And if there are 2 daughters or more, they get 2/3. And if there is a male with them, beginning is made with him who inherits with them, and he is given his appointed portion, and what remains is divided among the children, the male having the portion of 2 females. Zaid said, the children of a son take the place of a son when there is no son besides them. Their males are like their males, and their females like their females. They inherit as they inherit, and they preclude other relatives as they preclude, and the son of a son does not inherit with the son. Ibn Abbas said, my son's son inherits from me, precluding my brothers. Why should I not inherit from my son's son? And different opinions are related from Umar and Ali and Ibn Masud and Zaid. Buraidah said, a man from among the Khuza'a died, and his inheritance was brought. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he said, search for his heir or one related to him on the female side. But they could not find an heir for him, nor one related on the female side. So the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, give to the nearest connected with him, though a great grand ancestor from among the Khuza'a. Ibn Abbas reported the man died, and he did not leave any heir except a slave whom he had set free. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, has he anyone to inherit? They said, none, except a slave whom he has set free. So the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, gave his inheritance to him. Mekdam said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, I am nearer to every believer than his own self. So whoever leaves behind a debt or children to support, it shall be our charge. And whoever leaves property, it is for his heirs. And I am the heir of the person who has no heir. I inherit his property and liberate his captivity. Jabir said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, when a child is born crying, a funeral service is held over him, and he is inherited. Abu Hurairah said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, the murderer does not inherit. Amr ibn Shu'aib reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, whoever holds illicit intercourse with a free woman or a slave girl, the child that's born is illegitimate, and he is not inherit, nor is he inherited. The child born crying, funeral service held over, is it a living child? If that's stillborn, are they talking about stillborn? I am MSH 1219. I really don't know what to say about that one.